We are now. We are now recording a podcast.
Yep.
This is it. This is where your audio starts.
I'm probably going to leave this in just because it's going to be awkward and funny. And it's episode 0 of our podcast, so why the hell not?
Okay, but you have to remember that I am putting a lot of trust in you editing this. So, if it's just not edited, I feel like you've betrayed me. If we just sit here for an hour and a half talking, in my head, you're supposed to edit it down to 45 minutes. But if you just post an hour and a half of us just sitting at my table, I'm going to be upset.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Two Guys in a Shed. As always, we are your hosts, Ethan.
And Jordan.
And you're listening to episode 0, the first one. This is the beginning. This is our story.
This is the origin story.
The origin story of
Two Guys in a Shed. Origin.
Yeah, Jordan, what are we doing today, Jordan? What's happening?
So, we got locked in a shed by someone's dog accidentally knocking the lock onto the keeper. So now we're stuck and we can't get out.
That's what I get for buying a good lock. Really, if this was just like a little padlock, we could just get out of here.
Yeah,
but
it's also
safety first.
Yeah, safety third. Yeah, this is a podcast where we're going to talk about D&D, survival, outdoors, miscellaneous things, whatever we feel like talking about.
That should definitely stay in, that's for sure. Just a quick 4-second pause and then a muffled burp. I like it.
Well, this week, since it's episode 0, figured we'd introduce ourselves, talk about a little bit about some of our past experiences, what we currently do, why we felt like doing a podcast, things along that nature. To start out, I'm Jordan. I'm a construction worker, specializing in glass and windows, but I also do a lot of other things because my job title is, and I quote, whatever needs to get done, I do it. I've been doing that about 5 years, ever since I got out of college. And before I got into construction, I went to college, obviously, for music education. I got to school, was about to do my student teaching, and realized I didn't want to do this anymore. So I got into construction because there's better job security. And not even a year later, I got fired from that first job.
Wait, you did? I always thought you just started at where you work.
No. So I started at a company in Kansas, and after 11 and a half months, which after a year is when all of the benefits like 401k, health insurance, all that kicks in, and they fired me at 11 and a half months.
What convenient timing.
That's
crazy.
That's really convenient timing. So that's
what a coincidence.
Yeah, and around that time, I had called my sister just to vent because I didn't plan on moving, and she was like, hey, if times are really tough out there, I have a couch and I need help paying bills, and the job economy is good in Virginia. I was like, okay, whatever.
Oh, now they know we're in Virginia.
Oh, they were going to learn eventually.
Now they narrowed it down to one of 50 states.
Yep. But, so yeah. And then, when I moved here, I was here a week and I had started at my current job. But yeah, so after being here in Virginia about 2 years, I had tried other hobbies. I tried getting back into playing Magic, which I was really big into in Kansas.
As we quietly stare at the 1,000 Magic cards on this table right now.
Yeah, because I convinced somebody to start playing.
That guy's a fucking nerd, probably.
Yeah, but, Magic didn't really work out because nobody really played the formats that I was into. So I went into playing D&D, and I was playing in Adventures League at our local game store, which we're not a big fan of, but I didn't know any people. So I started off with one game. That game fizzled, so I moved to a different game that just started up, and that's where I met most of the one of the people in the friend group, really, at our current friend group. And then Ethan and his husband joined.
Now they know I'm gay. Telling all my secrets.
And that's where I met them.
Yep.
And after 2 months of playing in that game, the DM we had decided she didn't want to do it anymore, so she quit,
Fucking bounced, yeah.
and I had to take over. So after 6 months of playing D&D, I'm now the DM, which is really good for me. So yeah, I've been DMing for about 2.5 years now. We were playing Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which was a garbage module.
No, I don't think that's a fair assessment. I mean, it's a fun module, but the issue is like, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not okay. It's not a bad module.
If you're into just
dungeon
crawling,
diving. Dungeon crawling.
And it would be really fun. I think it would really shine is if you put that in another campaign.
I have.
So
I've used a lot of the dungeons and all that from Dungeon of the Mad Mage into our campaign to create dungeons.
Well, I just mean like in a world, like a whole world building campaign. If in that campaign you just have that dungeon.
Yeah.
So like we can go kill Luthar, the barbarian chieftain of the High Lord Mountain Passes.
Yeah.
And then we're like, wow, we've been out here for 1.5 years. Let's go to the town and relax. And then there's a dungeon there, and we can just go down there every now and then.
Yeah.
And then come back up, and then if we get bored, it's something else. But the issue with playing that module, at least for us, I mean, the whole group was on the same page, is that
there was no story.
It's just, okay, this session, Mario jumped down the pipe.
Yeah.
Wallop some things and jump back up. And then we're back up top, and we sell everything.
Yeah. Yeah. But because of that, we quickly went to homebrew, where I started making my own world.
By murdering people in the current world.
Shout
out to the Lord of Waterdeep, poor guy.
Yeah.
Got murdered by a 9-year-old.
Some other things about me. I'm an amateur mechanic. I want to one day build a drift car because drifting looks like a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of people like Taylor Ray, Von Gittin Jr., Adam LZ.
Sponsor us, guys.
They'll never sponsor us. Honestly, if Von Gittin Jr. ever reaches out, I just want to drive one of his cars, one of the RTR spec cars. That would be so fun. It's like a 700 horsepower Mustang. It would be sick.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure a D&D podcast is the quickest route to him letting you drive his drift car. That's why we're doing a podcast. Is for like we knew that if we did this podcast in a couple days, he'd reach out. Honestly.
Yeah. So. Some other things about me growing up, which will lead into the survival and outdoors aspect of
spoiler alerts.
Our podcast.
You gotta keep them on their toes.
I was in Boy Scouts growing up until I got kicked out when I was 16 for punching the Scoutmaster's son in the face, and they kindly asked me to not show back up. But because of Boy Scouts, I learned that I like camping and outdoors. And I got into fishing because of it, and especially in Kansas where there's a lot of good freshwater fishing where you can catch a 40-pound catfish on any given day, or you can go to a good crappie hole, get some nice crappie or bluegill.
That's not a real fish, crappie.
Yeah, it's crappie.
Crop this fucking picture.
No, it's CRAPPIE.
That's fake.
No, it's 100% a real fish.
You're making up fishies.
No.
Yep. I'm gonna Google it while this rant continues. Hold on, crappie.
It's CRAPPIE. See, some other things, I guess.
That's clearly crappy. I just want to butt in. That is very clearly the word crappy.
No, it's called. We always say crappie, unless you find like a real Southern guy, and then they're like, it's crappy.
I agree.
I'm going to the crappy hole.
Yeah. For all you listeners, go just write down the word CRAPPIE and tell me that isn't crappy. Tell me, like, look at that written down and go, oh, that's definitely crappie with an O.
I also fell in love recently with
men.
No, that's you. I don't think that's recent either. I do.
I'm pretty sure it's still a phase.
I do a lot of smoking and grilling of meats.
Mm-hmm. Me too, I bet, yeah. Really ties into what I just said.
God.
No, I don't like boys, but man, do I love smoking some meats.
I do a lot. I do pulled pork and I smoke like pork tenderloins for myself a lot. I do chicken breasts.
I pulled some pork before. Now you definitely can't edit out that side response.
Another quick thing is I am a big whiskey aficionado. I drink a lot of like whiskeys, specifically scotches. I like Islay scotches. Shout out to Ardbeg and Talisker.
Yep, that's the next guy that'll reach out. That's gonna be
Oh God, please.
just begging on this session. I almost said session 0, episode 0.
Yeah. And then I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/JDSky, SKYE.
Fucking plug them socials.
Yep.
Turn that average of 2 viewers into an average of 3. Let's get it.
Heck yeah, that is a 50% increase. I'd take that any day.
And that's enough to get affiliate.
Yep.
If you average 3.
Yep. So enough about me, Mr. Ethan.
Wow, you fucking killed that transition. That was fluid. That was nice.
It's fluid.
Really good.
Yeah, because I don't like talking about myself.
Yeah, that's why it's just... This is going to be a very boring episode because we both don't like talking about ourselves, but I guess we are. I don't really know why. We probably could have just been like, hi, I'm Jordan. Hi, I'm Ethan.
Hey, I got to give some people some background to understand our mindset.
I guess, yeah. I guess it does provide a resume of sorts. Like, if we explain what we do D&D... We're not just two assholes who read the player's handbook and went, actually. You can actually sneak attack on any attack, don't you know?
Don't you know?
I don't know that was a Midwestern nerd case.
Don't you know?
Yeah, we don't like to talk about ourselves, but I'm Ethan. My story is kind of the same, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, because, yeah. I feel like, see, this is why I want the camera in the corner, because half of what we do is just laughing at each other, and then we try to get back on track. We're like, as DMs, you think we'd be better sticking to a railroad, but we're actually pretty bad at it.
Yeah, it's something we both actively try not doing is railroading.
You think we'd be better at doing it to ourselves. Anyway, I'm Ethan. I am a pretty entry-level IT guy working here in Virginia. Was born in California. You were from Kansas. Moved out here when my spouse, that you now know is a boy, moved out here for
I'm so sorry.
For the Air Force. He got stationed out here and we moved out here. And it was the same bit. We were looking for something to do. We live right down the street from that same comic book store, so we just went there and, gave it a shot. That was my first ever game, first ever character. Actually, at that moment, the only knowledge of D&D I had was from that game Neverwinter, that MMO that I had to download a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, that one that I'm going to probably go play tomorrow after work and waste a lot of time.
Probably tonight after D&D or session, probably.
Probably not, because I have to work tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to play it, because I don't. So, that's why my character was from Neverwinter. It was the only thing I knew about at all whatsoever. And then, that's when I got into D&D. I've always been a fan of camping and outdoors, which is why that's going to be a part of, this podcast. Is that something we're both into? And you should be too. The sun's good for you. Go outside.
Go touch some grass.
We're talking to what's probably going to be our larger audience, if we have one, is a bunch of pasty dudes who love D&D. So... Shout out to the sun.
No offense to that, by the way. I'm a pasty dude most of the time.
That's the joke. We are both pasty boys sitting at a table.
That's why we go outside.
But there's a skylight above our table, so I feel like we're taking positive steps.
In about 10 years, that thing's going to leak like a motherfucker.
Well, good thing in about fucking 10 years, I'll have you come replace the fucking glass. It'll work well.
I don't work on skylights.
Well, you are in 10 years. It's gonna be. We'll hire Chase to do it because he's about to start work at your place. He'll be good in 10 years.
Yeah.
I think you heard us say his name. That's really it. I like computers. I like D&D, video games. That's really it. That's all you need to know. I don't like sharing. You don't need to know who I am. Just we're here to talk about D&D, not us. Follow me on Facebook. Don't follow me on Facebook. That'd be weird. Don't do that. Please don't. You won't find me, but...
Yeah. You won't find me because my profile picture is some random thing.
Mine's me, posing behind, pink silk sheets, I think.
Yeah. Mine's Earcat.
Ooh, woo.
But I'm going to change it, probably.
Yeah, I guess now they know what to look for. Now you got to fucking change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like he said so technically that was the episode introduction where you did some of the podcast info, so you're fucking it up, bud.
No, it just felt natural.
But going into, that's, like he said, that's what we're going to be aiming to do. We want to talk about D&D because, I mean, if you play D&D, you probably fucking also like talking about it or listening about it. I guarantee everyone who likes D&D will watch a YouTube video or a podcast.
Yep. Shout out Dungeon Dudes.
Yeah, shout out Dungeon Dudes. Say my name on your channel, please. Thanks. Just help me feel again. We're gonna like just harass the entire D&D. Like, if we get famous enough, we're gonna be notorious for like just harassing everyone. Like, Joe Cat, what up, bro?
Yeah.
Draw me a kobold.
You know, there was actually recently a bunch of people like more or less shitting on him because he's like a very effeminate person. And then like Davy Chappie, another D&D guy, like posted like a screenshot of a comic his girlfriend made, where it was basically like a comic of her dragging him by the ear saying, "You need to get laid." And Davy Chappie was like, "Listen, guys, this effeminate cat boy gets laid more often than you do. Shut up."
Burn. No, he's chill. I like him. Obviously his fucking... Anytime I tell anyone about D&D, if I'm introducing you to D&D, we are sitting down and watching the crap.
Have you shown Chase?
Yes.
Okay.
We watched them all. The race rap is our favorite.
Yeah. The race rap. And I liked
War of Magic is like tank mage having lots of defense.
Yeah.
Buzzing as you guys. That's a good one.
Yeah, the wizard
Is that
one.
trademarked? I wonder if he has that trademark. We might not be able to say that.
I don't know. I don't think we're big enough for him to copyright strike us yet.
Don't copyright strike us. We're your biggest fans.
Love you.
Me more than I guess me more than you now that the cat's out of the bag. Oh, he's gonna sue us. See, this is gonna be half the podcast. It's like this is gonna be us, like, because our brains will wander. We'll be like dingo doodles, and we'll not. Speaking of dingo doodles, you just take from her campaigns half the time.
Oh yeah, I know.
we steal.
Well,
from
it's not her. It's Felix.
Felix, right?
Yeah, her boyfriend, fiance. I don't know.
Let us know, Dingo.
He's German. He's cool. I like him.
My favorite bit is his only real presence is like when she'll say something in an episode, like, and he'll be like, "There was a reason for that," like way in the background.
Yeah,
I appreciate that he exists in the background of her videos.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, our episode 0 now includes like several shout outs to people.
Yep. Yeah, so, and now because you mentioned them all, I can't cut any of them.
You can't.
Yeah.
But what's funny is it's going to be like, because we're not going to be popular for a long time.
Yeah, so it's just going
to be, in years, they're going to find out that we were fanboying for 20 minutes of a 40-minute episode 0. Yeah. 20 minutes of them was like whispering into the mic about Joe Cat.
Yeah.
So basically, what we're going to be doing here on the podcast, or what I say, what we are hoping to do, is release on a kind of scattered schedule, kind of a tiered schedule, one might say.
Yeah, weekly.
Well, I mean, it's weekly. We should probably add that in, yes. So we're going to be doing a weekly schedule. We're going to be releasing every Sunday at whatever time Jordan. I mean, he says noon, but whenever Jordan decides to release it, he's the audio guy here. I'm just the pretty face. And that's what's funny is we're both not.
Yeah.
That's why we play D&D. Anyway, so we're hoping to be releasing every week on a Sunday.
Yes, Sunday.
Correct, yes.
At noon,
or whatever time you do decide. So the first and second Sundays will be D&D. That's going to be, episodes like normal, episode 1, and this is going to be whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Normally, we're going to try to cover stuff that we don't see covered a lot.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, there is 1,000 videos for alignment or the various religions, but we're going to obviously try to find a couple things like mundane adventuring equipment. Shout out to the next episode. We want to be kind of going about what we don't think is covered enough, or as DMs, what we don't think is brought up enough, like tailoring items to people's backstories.
Yes, or to the not just to the backstories, but to the specific character.
Yeah, to the character, either to give them that item or to give them that personal thing that makes them feel all big, or to fix a fuck up in one of their like Yena and Ren. And kind of Lorna. Yeah, so, first, second Sunday. Fuck. The first and second Sunday. Where's my fucking pen? I'm just gonna...
Oh, did you write Saturday
I
on
did because in my brain that's when we're recording, not when we're releasing. I don't release. I record, Jordan. You're the guy who takes it from my laptop. Like, I do all that, and then you go and you edit it. For all those who are wondering, he is just looking into his palm in disappointment. So let's give Jordan a sec. Let's give him a sec to catch back up. Outside of that, the third Sunday is going to be more centered around, outdoor and survival stuff. If you don't like that kind of stuff, you just don't have to listen to that episode.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of outdoors, camping. I'm going to probably talk about a lot about like homesteading and building on the house.
Like we're building a water tower for my yard.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Foreshadowing for that episode.
Yeah, it's going to be a very fancy water tower with like solar powered water pump and.
Not that fancy. It's just lumber barrels and a pump.
Yeah, but it's going to be...
But it's fancy if you don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I am classified, I do prepare for emergencies, and you prepare by, proximity to me, so you are also prepared.
Yes.
But, preparing for an emergency is something we do.
I'm prepared in the knowledge of how to build and fix shit.
Yep, and I'm prepared in the knowledge to have you aboard. And we do lots of camping, camping, survival... gardening. The water tower is going to be built this winter in preparation for spring.
Yep.
I hope to do like banana pepper hot sauce, like our friend does. That's really nice.
Yeah.
It's fucking so good.
A project that I'm hopefully going to take out maybe in the summer after my truck is fixed. So my plan is to get my car paid off in the middle of the summer and probably just get rid of it because I'm tired of it. I hate that thing. It's given me nothing but headaches for the entire time I've owned it. I hate it. But I'm going to probably pay the car off, then sell it, and use the money from that. And I want to build a custom camping trailer.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that, how you want to build one for the back of the truck.
Well, yeah, one that'll tow.
I thought you were like a shell.
No, it's going to be an actual trailer, a tow behind trailer, because I still want to use the truck as a work truck. Because cool. I do side work sometimes fixing other people's stuff.
Yeah, step 1 is to get a truck. Step 2 is to learn how to tow something and drive a truck.
Well, it's convenient because while it hasn't been officially confirmed by anybody other than one person in my office, my job is getting me a truck and trailer.
Huh.
So I'm going to be learning how to pull a trailer anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you're camping, all you're doing is pulling it on a fucking highway, then on the road. So
yeah, like well, you got to also back it into the camping spot, especially if we go to the one spot we always go to, or we went to that one time.
That we always go to the one time we've gone camping here.
Yeah, that one time we went camping.
We should do a podcast while we're out camping. That'd be kind of bitchin'.
Yeah, just have the mics all set up.
Or around a campfire, and we deliberately do that not on an outdoor survival episode. So we're like around the crackling fire in the starlight. We're like top 5 cantrips.
No, I think that one we should do is like one of our just random talking ones.
Oh, that'd be a good one. That's like the around a campfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of, that will be the 4th one we release.
Yes.
So that 4th Sunday. Is the right one that time?
Oh, snap.
I'm learning.
You're learning.
That 4th one, it's kind of a placeholder. Honestly, we might, if we don't just banter, which we probably always will, like we do the 90% of this podcast already.
Yes.
Is just kind of a topic, going back and reviewing what episodes we've done. I like looking through some of our topics we want to cover, and there's a lot that I just would like us to go back and just talk about more.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we could go for hours about, like, world building.
Yeah.
Even map creation, you and I will sit down for 2-3 hours before D&D, and we'll just sit here each on our tablet messing with our worlds, going, look, I drew a little tree. And we're like, wow, it's a nice tree.
Yeah.
Look at my tree. I'm like, oh, it's a really good tree.
Yeah. Oh, look at this island I made. Oh, that looks kind of like a pig.
Wi-Fi island. Fuck off. If you go on our Instagram, which has us two following it, we will post pictures of our fucking maps.
Yeah.
Because there's my Dragon Island. There's the pig. There's
Dragon D. No, never mind.
Dragon D's D&D knowledge across your ear holes.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here today.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, so we will post. Wi-Fi Island's my favorite of yours. You had to know that's what it looks like when you made it.
No.
It's a fucking Wi-Fi symbol.
Yeah.
Your island has great signal, by the way. That's fucking like 3-4 bars. That's really good.
I think 3.
It's Fucking, that's pretty. I get less in my room for my router than your
Well, it's
Islands
because
get.
your router is like, on the other side of the house.
Yeah, I still need to go plug in. I have like a little repeater. I just have to like get in the sink and plug it in.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's gonna be to reiterate and for editing purposes. So how we're gonna be releasing is we'll be releasing every Sunday, and we're gonna be releasing it to where every Sunday, every week of the month will have a theme. So the first and second Sunday will be just about D&D, topics that either we have opinions about, which is all of them, or ones that we think are not routinely covered. Just ones that we wish, like if a new DM was to Google something, what would they want to see? And that's kind of what we want our list to be. What would we want as resources when we were starting?
Yeah.
Or what do we like? What just tickles our people to talk about, like world building?
Yes.
Outside of that, that's the first and second. So the third Sunday will be outdoors and survival. We'll just be going over camping, self-sustainability, homesteading, even just gardening, construction tips, just kind of outdoor survival, some manly things.
Yeah, just self-sustaining stuff that.
I think self-sustaining and out is probably going to be the
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah, like when we say like self-sustaining outdoors survival stuff, like it's more gonna be geared towards like this is the kind of stuff that even if you're not a prepper, you're just a person who has a house that you live in, stuff that you should
Yeah,
at least have the knowledge of being able to do.
we're not like making bunkers because the Nazi zombies are coming.
Yeah.
We just, we like that connection to nature. That's why I do it. I love just it. Like, there's a sense of pride when you learn like a skill like that. Like, it just, whenever you're camping or whenever you're learning more about canning and gardening and building a tower to collect water to water your plants, I don't know. Like, at least for me, it gives me this weird sense of connection to the world.
Yeah, learning how to make your own vinegar for canning and all that.
Learning how to make, breads and just like all that, stuff that nowadays is considered like whatever.
Yeah, niche things that only people who are actually going to do it for a job need to know.
Yeah, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's cool to know. And I feel like everyone, like so many people, like, oh, I love camping, and oh, I love gardening, but they don't do it. But we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And you can live vicariously through our adventures.
Yeah. And
including all the injuries and fuck ups that come along the way.
yes, because I get hurt a lot.
Yeah, much to our mom friends' distaste.
Yeah, it's because right now it's healed surprisingly well. I cut off. It was a 5% laceration of my index finger, and it almost looks like I didn't even cut a good chunk of my finger off. Like,
Yeah, you can't even tell.
yeah. But I also fell like a month and a half ago and hurt my knee, and it still hurts. And I don't tell her very
I'm
often.
gonna buy you a little life alert button. Are those still around? Yeah, they're still around.
Probably.
Help! I've fallen.
Help.
For you. That's a pickup line for the next AARP dinner you guys go to.
Yep.
All you
Elderly.
D&D fans, go hit up the
Yeah. Back.
all you first edition players.
AD&D.
Is that what it's called?
I think it's AD&D.
Yeah, because it wasn't an edition until like 3.5, really.
I think so. I think it was first edition, second edition,
3.5.
and then there was a 3, I think.
No one talks about 3. I don't think I've ever heard third edition.
Yeah, because 3 was garbage and they made 3.5 and everybody fell in love with it because 3.5 was good. And I've thought about trying to get a hold of the books to run a 3.5 campaign just to see what it was all about, but it's hard to find, and plus I'd have to find people that actually want to play it.
I've been down to try 3.5.
But
yeah, and then the fourth Sunday, that last Sunday, will just kind of be a mindless banter one where we talk about topics. Maybe one of you guys, eventually we start getting, corrections of episodes. We are misquoting things. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they rewrite a skill or ability and it's not even a thing anymore. So that's going to be that kind of just free day where we cover different topics or just things we want to talk about. It might be about D&D, which it will probably always go to in some way, shape, or form.
yeah.
Or it'll just be our favorite color.
Or, complaining about work or complaining about...
That's in every episode. That's
true.
All of them. Yeah, so that's the goal. Obviously, maybe, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're
Again,
doing.
this is episode 0, and we planned to do this podcast a week and a half ago as a joke. And then I was just like, do you want to actually do it?
It was literally, we were literally just playing Minecraft, and we were just talking about doing a podcast, and this kind of joke formed, and then I bought a mic, and here we are. That's it. That's the whole story.
Yeah.
We joked about it once, and I'll also, you know, hopefully over time we get better at editing. Air quotes around the we. It's Jordan. I don't edit. That's him.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to learn, but that'll be your thing.
There's not a lot to audio editing.
I mean, so far I've been controlling the buttons pretty well. I'm killing it.
Yep,
I learned what gain is.
Yeah, you learned to gain.
I did some gains. I did the little squiggly wheel that I spun.
Yeah. Do you know what echo is?
Yeah, it's when you echo.
Yeah. Do you know what reverb is?
It's when it like comes back.
No.
Yes, pretty sure. What's a reverb?
Reverb is ambient room noise. So whenever you go in, whenever you go into like church hall or something, and you talk,
like when the sound is bouncing off the wall and coming back to the mic.
Yeah, it's similar to echo, but it's a more ambient sound. And actually, like an echo is actually something that you hear. So when you hear like an echo, it's echo. Yeah. Whereas
it's just noise.
Yeah. Whereas reverb is just ambient noise that you get from it.
That was pretty close, I feel.
Yeah.
That counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, hopefully, like, you know, Jordan's going to put, like, a nice little tune before and after.
Yeah, if I can find one.
Or just, I mean, we can probably, like, find someone to make one. Like,
I don't have...
doodle-doodle-doo, and then it just goes...
Yeah. I don't have any real recording equipment for my guitars.
So. I mean, we'll figure it out. So, you know, there's, you know, plans to edit and hopefully make this just a little higher quality production-wise, because right now we are just two dudes in a shed talking into some mics.
Yes.
As nice as we sound, because we've spent more time setting up the sound settings than planning the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is... What you're hearing now is not the first attempt at recording this.
Yes, we recorded a whole other episode, and it was actually really bad because we didn't know what we were talking about, because we didn't plan what we were talking about.
And today was much less bad, I think, because we actually like did something called an outline that I feel like podcasters do.
Yes, I have a half a page of notes.
We have notes,
myself.
You guys. That's right.
Yeah.
So for all you listeners who listened to the first unpublished episode 0,
yes.
Lots of ums.
Yes.
But yeah, so, you know, the goal is we're just going to be talking about, you know, D&D, mindless banter, outdoor stuff. What's up? Hold on. Let me just subtly hand you this notebook. You should maybe... We literally just bragged about you having notes, and our outro isn't one of your notes.
Shut up.
Let me guess, is literally all those notes just information about you?
Yes, so I hate talking about myself, and I wanted to remember the things that are pertinent.
Right, but the outro that we knew you were going to say this episode was not part of those pertinent notes.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Fuck you.
Okay, that's fine. All right, Jordan, let's hit him with our first ever hot off the press,
extremely rehearsed.
Yes, I think we've said it out loud 3 times.
Yes.
Let's make it the 4th. Go, Jordan. Hit him with it.
Well, folks, that's all we had for today. As always, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Ethan. Nothing's changed in the past 20 minutes.
If you liked what you heard or you didn't and you just want to trash us, please go ahead and give us a follow at our Twitter at LockedInAShed. And our Instagram is LockedInAShed. It's locked_in_a_shed.
Please send help. We can't get out.
Yes, we're stuck. I have a personal Twitter. It's at JDSky10 because JD Sky was taken already. So JDSky10 is my Twitter. If you want to follow me, where I just post things about my work, complain about things, or just post general sad boy stuff.
He also loves getting spammed with pictures of bricks, you guys. If you can just send him like fire brick and red brick and other brick, mud brick, that's one. If you can just send him all types of bricks, he's a huge fan.
Yes, bricks.
That's JDSky10.
Yes, bricks.
Bricks.
So, as I'm editing this episode, I realized that we didn't really say goodbye. If you like the episode, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social medias. To reiterate, that is Twitter at Locked in a Shed and Instagram at Locked in a Shed, which is locked underscore in underscore a underscore shed. Follow me on Twitter at JD Sky, and have a great night.